Doubles and coffee. You know, yesterday I was seeing a Facebook story, a beautiful young lady working in the oil industry, and she posts up a clip of Stuart Smallpin Young saying that the normal citizens, regular people, don't understand the energy sector. And then I realized it must be really nice to not get involved in politics, to not understand decisions that are made that impact your lives, especially because this woman is one of the most intelligent, working in the energy sector, qualified, highly qualified, but seems to think somehow that Stuart Young could make sense in energy sector. Just to tell you all that Stuart Young is the biggest failure in the energy sector in the history of Trinidad and Tobago. Whether it's rig days 50% of what it was in 2014, whether it's the real GDP of the energy sector 49% less than what it was in 2014, 10,300 jobs less per year in the energy sector, losses in NGC for the first time in 2018, 2019, 2020. The upstreamers making 67% more profit since Stuart Smallpin Young and Rowley went in 2017 to Houston, and the bright fellas of the upstreamers outsmart those two Dunce, and their profits went up 67% and our revenues went down 67% because it's a zero-sum game. The point Lisa, 11 companies pack up and go. No new investment, foreign direct investment for 2020, 2019, 2021. Negative money running from Trinidad and Tobago. No energy sector development. Gas price horizon. Everything is just dragon with Maduro, a man who sanctions waiting for you, steal elections. And these people putting up Stuart Smallpin Young as he sit down with some conversations with a bumsy fly or something he doing now, because he sees himself in this country as a future prime minister and leader of the PNM. That alone should send shockwaves through your body, your mind and spirit, that such a blithering idiot and incompetent, the third worst minister of national security, every portfolio he held, he flop and fail. Fire engine, there are no fire engine. Lifeguard had nothing to do when he was national security. Third highest murder rate. He thankful for Fitzgerald, Ethelbert, narcolepsy, sativa, Sleepy Hines, who ride a horse with an 8-year-old boy in his lap. Smallpin Young, happy for him because he removed him from second place behind Martin Joseph down to third place for the most murderous years in the history of Trinidad and Tobago. But in the energy sector, when you look at Stuart Smallpin Young performance and some of the actions and decisions that he and Rowley have taken that have led to the creation of Heritage and Guaracara and Paria, the shutdown of the refinery, when you see that we have not been refining products for 5-6 years because of Smallpin Young, how could you post up something on the energy sector as if he's some kind of expert? He's the biggest energy dunce in the history of the Caribbean and possibly the world. Also, they understand why the refinery, 2 reasons why it was shut down. Number 1, because of a man called Malcolm Jones, who Stuart Smallpin Young and Rowley uphold and put him back up when we had him in court to get back some £100 million that was lost through poor decision making with World GTL and other projects that put Petrotrin in debt to the tune of $13 billion, debt that still has to be paid. Heritage, they come in, kick it down, the can down the road. There's a $850 million US bullet payment to be paid in 2028. But they talking about energy sector. And Stuart Young, a failed lawyer, the only thing he could do is make brief by sitting down as a PNM and getting easy money in the off inquiry that he boy Rowley created against Manning to become prime minister, one of his great lies, and then also to go and defend Rowley in Emailgate. He took Malcolm Jones out of court, he and Rowley and Faris Al-Rawi, the PNM, from getting back your money. The Privy Council that they want to get rid of now said that what sort of madness in this? What sort of political interference in the judicial process? Because they withdrew the case. You know who withdrew the case on what opinion? Vincent Nelson, the man they signed an indemnity with and paying over $44 million of your money to Vincent Nelson. He changed his mind. So he wrote a paid for expert opinion to say that Petrotrin had a case against Malcolm Jones. The government changed, PNM come, Small Pen Young, Faris Al-Rawi in the office of the Attorney General. And Vincent Nelson writes a little paragraph to say, nah man, that $100 million pound case, nah, it weak. And the PNM withdraws their friend. You know who was Malcolm Jones' lawyer? Stuart Small Pen Young. And people are posting up that he say the normal citizens don't understand the energy sector. We may not understand the intricacies of the energy sector, but we know an idiot when we see one Small Pen Young, and we see you. The second reason Heritage exists and Paria since they come, the amount of US them spending and people drowning in pipe and they leave them there to die and man on criminal charges. But Stuart Small Pen Young, who oversaw all of that as Minister of Energy, saying that other people don't understand. We don't understand how you reach to be a minister, you big clown, Stuart Small Pen Young. The other thing was, Kamala Prasad got a report from a PNM board, from a PNM Minister of Energy, that Rowley Friend and his company were taking out large sums of oil just so miraculously. The acreages were just producing miraculous increases in barrels per day. When we check and the audits check, and 3 different audits, it checked that those numbers could not be realistic. But it's Rowley Friend, and Rowley stayed in control and removed the minister and removed the board and removed our next board and eventually shut down Petrotrin because a man tell him, if I go down, you go down, so you better shut it down. And now you're all talking about that Small Pen understands the energy sector. The refinery is closed, and that person who was getting miraculous energy barrels a day up increase now get $118 million because Rowley didn't appeal the case, because Kwamena didn't appeal the case, and he get $950 million more in future acreages to bring oil out of the ground. Right now, our oil production per day is the lowest in history. It went down under 40,000 barrels a day for the first time in 116 years. And you all putting up thing about Stuart Small Pen. He is the worst, the most arrogant, the biggest dunce in energy. And anybody from a doubles man, garbage man, teacher, construction worker, laborer, fisherman, anybody with a brain know more about the energy sector than Stuart Small Pen Young. And imagine, he feel he's the next leader of the PNM. Good for all you. Rowley called the election now. Don't worry about the 3 boat. We have 3 cocktail for you. Bless.